Only the team you haven't been able to beat in 11.
Firstly, I don't support who you think I support.
That's who they are, but let's not go there. Listen, we've got a number of things to deal with. This issue of qualifications, right? It's come to the head of calls, as you would know, because it's now been revealed that the DA's chief whip in Parliament, John Steenhuisen, doesn't have a degree. Is that something that's a big deal in your life, particularly from you political leaders? Is that something you expect? Some people have been talking. Legislator, you need to understand philosophy, you need to understand politics, you need to understand economics, you need to understand ethics. But by that standard, would most MPs even be there? That's a question we need to ask this morning. So we'll have that conversation. A big story in the Sunday Times yesterday is the fact that Johannesburg could literally, this is of course to do with illegal zamazamas, and they are blasting underground near gas and oil pipelines, petrol pipelines. I mean, it's an extraordinary story. In one example they gave, they said some of these people were blasting literally within a few meters of these pipes. If those catch fire, FNB blows up and the infrastructure will be damaged. We'll try and get some clarity from the city. They say they've been trying to get the Department of Mineral Resources to do something about it. And then in her first interview, Angela Quintal, the journalist who was accosted and interrogated in Tanzania, she gives her first live interview about that situation. It's all coming up.
Support for Pravin Gordhan and the death of T-boat tragedy by Minister Pravin Gordhan, and has called on South Africans to defend and support him. Last week, the EFF picketed outside the state capture inquiry while Gordhan was testifying, accusing him of lying and calling for his removal. Ramaphosa was speaking at a South African Jewish Board of Deputies conference in Johannesburg last night, which Gordhan also attended. Tando Kubeka was there.
President Cyril Ramaphosa says Pravin Gordhan has drawn a lot of condemnation from people in a number of circles who are deeply involved in what has gone wrong in this country.
Pravin Gordhan, who very bravely stood up and told the truth about what he has gone through.
Ramaphosa says South Africans must protect Gordhan as well as others who speak out against corruption.
Our task is to support, defend people like Pravin Gordhan, and a number of others are going to come to the fore.
The president says government is now determined more than ever to free the country from the shackles of corruption and state capture. Thando Kubeka, Eyewitness News, Johannesburg.
The High Court in Pretoria is today expected to hear former SA Revenue Service Commissioner Tom Moyane's application to get his job back. Moyane approached the courts after he was fired by the president. A commission led by retired Judge Robert Nugent found Moyane did not have the character of a person fit to lead SARS and should be removed from office as a matter of urgency. Barry Bateman reports.
Former SARS Commissioner Tom Moyane has asked the court to review and set aside President Cyril Ramaphosa's decision to fire him. He also wants the court to interdict the president from taking any further action against him until his constitutional court application has been finalized. Moyane has approached the Apex Court to have it declare the establishment of the Nugent Commission of Inquiry as irregular. The former commissioner argues that Ramaphosa has preempted the outcome of that application and should have waited until the court makes a decision. Ramaphosa has, however, defended his decision and will oppose the application. Barry Bateman, Eyewitness News.
The family of a South African journalist who died in Egypt earlier this year say they still have several unanswered questions around her death. Yadana Jadu was a news editor at the Citizen newspaper. She died while attending an event arranged by the Union of African Journalists. Her sister says there are conflicting versions of the circumstances leading up to her death, and the cause is also still unclear. Ahmed Kaji has more.
A post-mortem report indicates that Yadhana Jadu died due to metal alcohol poisoning, which her sister says is not related to normal alcohol consumption.
Metal alcohol poisoning is not a common cause of death. It's not the type of alcohol that is in drinking alcohol. You can't just ingest it by mistake. This is also why we are skeptical as to how this got into her system.
Jadu says that metal alcohol was apparently ingested, but the post-mortem doesn't give more information. She says even though foul play has been ruled out, she believes there's more to her sister's death. International Relations says it has been assisting the family. Ahmed Kaji, Eyewitness News.
Authorities in Uganda say they expect the death toll following a boat accident on Lake Victoria to rise even further. The party boat capsized on Saturday during clear weather. 35 people have been confirmed killed. so far. An army official media, the craft was in poor mechanical shape and was overloaded with passengers. At this stage, 50 people remain unaccounted for and the search is still underway. And the signing of the Brexit agreement by European Union has been carefully choreographed, but already there are signs of the amicable peace being broken. The French pretended to use parts of the deal as leverage to secure fishing rights for French boats in UK waters. Gavin reports.
The British Prime Minister is seeking support for the Brexit deal, saying it ends the movement of people from the EU to the UK, protects the British Constitution and gives the UK direct control of its own fishing waters. The waters off the British coast are highly lucrative and many want to see foreign boats kept out. That's why the French President's comments that he might insist that Britain stays locked within the customs union until it offers access to those waters are so concerning. Emmanuel Macron said it was a lever for future discussions. His words will add fuel to those looking to block the Brexit deal. Kevin Gray, Eyewitness News, London.
Gold's trading at $1,223.89 an ounce. The rand's at $13.81 to the dollar, $17.69 to the pound, and $15.66 to the euro. Brent crude oil's at $59.47 a barrel.
Already busy if you're traveling on the M1 northbound into the Crown Interchange. We're seeing that pressure with the roadworks through the double-decker section into West, also taking a bit of strain. But generally, Marcel, we're off to a good start despite these roadworks.
In your sport, Apiwa Janti wins Breakthrough Player of the Year at the World Rugby Awards. Johnny Sexton was Player of the Year. Baraka upset Wits 1-0 and will play Pirates in the Telkom Knockout Final. And Arsenal beat Bournemouth 2-1.
Gauteng weather's partly cloudy today. The temperatures: Johannesburg a low of 17, a high of 29 later. Pretoria 16 and 31. Kruger 16 and 29. The top story in Eyewitness News this hour: President Cyril Ramaphosa says he stands by Minister Pravin Gordhan and has called on South Africans to defend and support him.
Eyewitness News. In touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za.
Choose to make a positive impact. Lead SA.
702 Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa. Live.
Online.
Smartphones.
DSTV.
And 92.7.
And 106 FM.
It's exactly 7 minutes after 6. It's a Monday. It's the start of a brand new week. Welcome to 702 Breakfast, and a very good morning to you, Aki Anastasiou.
Morning, Bongani Bingwa. Did you have a good weekend?
I did. Listen, firstly, what happened in the football?
Outstanding.
11 games now.
Pirates.
11 games since the last time Kaizer Chiefs experienced a victory against Orlando Pirates.
What it must be like to be a Chiefs fan going to work today.
Listen, it's going to be a rough one for them yet because, of course, a number of their players, Ace Quinn, of course, really frustrated.
How was that interview?
Really frustrated with his team's performance. Listen, it circles and roundabouts. We know Chiefs will be back. We know they're a fantastic team and they'll do well at some point. It will turn around. But for now, hey, we are allowed to enjoy the victory, right?
You know what the best time to kick a man is? When he's down.
Oh, wow, I can understand you. What compassion you have. Listen, the other thing, of course, I want to talk about is the breakthrough player announced last night. And I want to know from you on 011-883-0702 if you've got any thoughts on the box. Of course, Apiwa Janti, the standout box player this year. Is that the player that you want to recognize, or are there others? Who's the standout box player for you in 2018? I want to know from you. And of course, with a 50% winning record, is that something to be impressed about? You can give us a call on that on 011-883-0702. Big story in the Sunday Times that we're going to try and chase up this morning. They were literally saying that, they were saying that the city of Joburg could literally go up in flames. It's an extraordinary story. And they're saying basically because of illegal mining, what these guys do is they go to decommissioned mines. This is the Zamazamas now. So obviously no one is paying an eye on those mines anymore. No one is paying any attention to those mines, and they blast underground to try and get very small amounts of gold underneath. And they're saying that we've got now underneath the city of Johannesburg, we've got gas and fuel lines that obviously transport the fuel from the coastal cities inland. And there's a whole network of pipelines underneath the city, underneath, for example, B Stadium, but they also include parts, major road infrastructure, the M1 double-decker highway, M2 sections, as I say, of Soweto, and Stadium. And I was saying, imagine something happens. Imagine something happens at the Global Fest coming up next Saturday. I mean, imagine literally that part of Soweto, that part of Johannesburg, going up in smoke. Because these guys blast near these pipelines. And they're saying, as the city of Joburg, they've been trying to get the Department of Mineral Resources to try and do something about it, but it doesn't seem like they're getting any help. We'll be looking at that issue. We'll be talking mostly this morning about threats to journalists. We'll be speaking to Adrian Basson from SANEF yesterday, Matabele Dlamini barring ENCA from attending a government event. It's quite extraordinary. And of course, the attacks by the leader of the EFF, Julius Malema, continue. She called Paulie van Wyk Satan yesterday on Twitter. She says, "Go to hell, Satan." That kind of rhetoric is moving from just words to now physical threats, to certainly verbal assaults on journalists. What can SANEF do about it? We'll also speak to Angela Quintal. She's going to give her first interview since that incident in Tanzania. She's not really pleased with what Lindiwe Sisulu has said about it. All of that coming up on the Breakfast Show this morning. But of course, it is a Monday, so we start with VUCA Monday. And I love it this morning. It's from Idris Alba, and he's got a warning to those people who tell others to stay in their lane.
702 VUCA Monday.
I just want to encourage people to stay away from people who tell you to stay in your lane, all right? Let me tell you something. You've got one life to live. Criticized for, trying this, doing a bit of that. I love it. It's what I'm here for. If you want to try something different in your life, go for it, all right? If you're a creator and you want to be a boxer, you try that. If you're an accountant and you want to be a ballet dancer, you go for that. It's your birthright, okay? I get anything else, and that's boring. Do you know what I mean? Life's too short for that. And I encourage you to stay away from people like that, or at least challenge them.
Try something new. He's not only an actor, he's a DJ, he's a presenter. In 2016, of course, you'll remember in the world, and the reason he gets that accolade is that he doesn't just try one thing. He says it's about confidence. Don't believe people who tell you to say they thought for this week.
With Simon
Brought to you by BBC Lifestyle, serving fresh shows, the favorites you love, and a brand new look too. Simon, a very good morning to you. Happy Monday, happy start of the week. What can we look forward to this week?
Good morning. It's a bit of a cloudy start this morning, but we are expecting some sun through the course of the day. Pretoria 17 and 31, Joburg 17 and 29, and Vereeniging 16 and 29. There are some showers about through Gauteng, better chance of rain as you drive down into KwaZulu-Natal, so just be aware of that if you're on your way down the N3, and maybe a few showers south of Cape Town today as well. Then looking ahead through the rest of the week, we can expect a gradually improved likelihood of rain through the course of the week, with probably the best chance of rain from midweek onwards. Say Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, looking like a pretty good chance of rain. Temperatures just dipping into the mid-20s as we go under that cloud from Wednesday onwards.
And your science snippet this morning, you want to talk about how mothers and their children, in terms of weight loss, there are linkages there.
Yeah, interesting study showing that when mothers have lifestyle changes, either start eating worse or decreasing their amount of exercise, and so putting on weight, or the other way, start improving their lifestyles and losing weight, that is often reflected in their children as well. Doesn't seem to be too great a link between men's choices and their children's weight, but certainly moms and their kids, it definitely makes a difference. And so I suppose just reiterating how important it is that we are able to our children
really has what's on the menu for most families is usually the mom who decides that, so I can absolutely see that link. Simon Gear there with your weather and of course his science snippet of the day.
You've got to feast your eyes on the new BBC Lifestyle, where your favorites meet the fresh. Gordon Ramsay's 24 Hours to Hell and Back, Jamie Cook's Italy, Grand Designs, George Clark's Amazing Spaces, and Married at First Sight. Whatever you crave, find wellness or food, the new home of inspired entertainment will tickle your taste buds.
A bit of pressure on the M1 northbound as you head into the Crown interchange. It's bumper to bumper. Also, as well. Now remember, we've got those roadworks happening through the double-decker section, so Monday is in full swing if you're traveling towards the city centre. Also on the N3 North as you come past the PPC cement factory and the Germiston area, quite slow coming up to Geldenhuys. I'm wondering if there's a stationary vehicle just after the Geldenhuys interchange as you're approaching Van Buren causing that particular delay. And then there's appears to be an accident on the N1 northbound as you coming up toward the Malibongwe exit, which is why there's a bit of a long queue back to 14th Avenue at the moment. Keep us updated. Our WhatsApp number is 079-947-7020. You can SMS 31702 or tweet us at EWN Traffic. Aki Anastasiou, EWN Traffic.
Swiping left. Bayrock. Yes. Buy airtime and data from the Standard Bank app and live your happy next. Standard Bank is an authorized financial services and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply. Standard Bank, moving forward.
Here they come!
Are you sure that's him?
Oh, put your glasses on, little babies!
Granny! Grandpa!
Hello, Princess. Look how you've grown. The festive season is almost upon us. Ask questions, never settle for ordinary. Living on offer now. Get a free pair of police or Carolina Harrison.
To breakfast on this Monday morning. I picked up this story in the City Press yesterday. Listen to this. They say nursing is one of the oldest professions, but being a nurse is obviously a daunting task. You have to take care of individuals from all walks of life, day in and day out. It's not always possible to be bright and chirpy, and therefore many nurses work in undesirable environments and have to endure involved working conditions. And obviously for many people, certainly in many of the black communities, this was a very path during the apartheid years. It was sort of seen as a kind of people then got in they may face. Are some nurses the rudest professionals in South Africa? They obviously admit that, you can't paint everybody with the same brush, but one rotten apple does spoil the barrel, they argue in. And they're saying, listen, look at the pressures they work under. Most public hospitals are not working at full capacity. And many nurses are just trapped in jobs and that rude. And many times on this show about the experiences of people who said nurses were unkind or really must know from you on 011-883-0702. What's the rudest profession you can think of? Where have you experienced the most rudeness? Is it waiters, for example? Have you had a rude waiter or a taxi driver? I would imagine for many people who use taxis to commute, those will certainly be up on that list, very high up on that list. What's the rudest profession? This is perhaps policemen. Have you gone?
Interesting one. I'm trying to think.
Have you been, for example, to try and get service at a police station, maybe to write a statement or something like that, and have been treated rudely? Who are the rudest? Give government officials. Willie is away today. All right. Let's look at the papers then. I've got the Citizen this morning. What do you have?
The Star this morning, Bongani. Shock increase in 185 since April alone have been uncovered. Also a picture on the Star front of ZCC Nyane and arriving at the National Day of Prayer for South Africans at FNB Stadium yesterday. Sowetan newspaper, who will Musi choose, is the question they're answering. To get Jamaso, the Nsimanga, the mayor line, if not. And the big era for PIC after Machida's resignation coming out of the weekend. Corpus ball agenda over the next results. In this
leading picture of that plays race card. If and his supporters accusing them of protecting corrupt whites and Indians. While Trickley does not show if he slammed his support. That's what's out. Freedom Fire at that consultation. So that is of the EFF. They are put on front pages. But Pravin Gordhan's daughter may not be named. That's what he is arguing. They're also running with a story about on this with Minister of Women in the Presidency, but launching the sixth against, and he from Ian saying he wouldn't let them into the venue and she wouldn't take questions from them. She would only take questions because she says they know the parameters. It's extraordinary. And another one, of course, this idea, and we spoke to the Auditor General last week, Dimi Magwetu, the idea of hitting wrongdoers where it hurts the most in their pockets. This is, of course, around the proposed bill that will see much tougher action for people in the state sector when it comes to financial management. That's in the Citizen this morning. And what's on EWN?
Well, on ewn.co.za this morning, Bongani, we have President Cyril Ramaphosa saying he stands by Pravin Gordhan, calling on South Africans to also defend and support him. Last week, of course, the EFF leading a demonstration against the Public Enterprises Minister outside the venue where the state capture inquiry is being held. The High Court in Pretoria is today expected to hear former SA Revenue Service Commissioner Tom Moyane's application to get in the wake of calls for Batabile Dlamini to be fired following the recent constitutional judgment against her. The former Social Development Minister says she will take when the right time comes. Two videos that are worth checking out on the website. Black Friday through the eyes of a customer, the craziness that went on Friday and into the weekend. And the Audi S5 is apparently no kitten, it's a jungle cat. EWN motoring journalist Jacob Moshokwa taking us on a ride in the new Audi S5. Those are the newspapers and ewn.co.za this morning.
Thank you, Camilla.
Bongani Bingwa on 702. On 702. Call him on 011 883 0702.
All right, the City Press says that it ran a story saying that nurses may well be some of the rudest working people. And I want to know, is it just them? Is it talk show hosts? Maybe those are the rudest people you've come across. Derek, you're in Midrand, the rudest profession you know.
Bongani, good morning. The absolute worst, no question. Go to the Master of the High Court in Johannesburg. You go through the door, and from the very first person you meet, the receptionist there, right away up the left to the security man who meets you when you get off the left.
Yeah.
To the people who are actually supposed to serve you, they are absolutely appalling. Absolutely appalling.
Oh, gosh.
But Bongani, there's one thing I'd like to say. I'd like to flip that
Yeah.
and say that the taxpayer office of SARFs,
Yes.
Centurion, are absolutely
Amazing.
amazingly wonderful people. It's like a 4-star hotel.
Midrand says it's the masters of the High Court, the workers in that office. He's the experienced rudeness from them like nowhere else. And I want to know from you, who are the rudest, which are the rudest professions? Again, Estaso, you've got a view.
No, you know, Bongani, I was just thinking about this as you were talking. Does it not start with both people? And I'll tell you where I'm coming with this, is that if you start your conversation with good morning, how are you? It changes everything. It just changes the whole conversation immediately. Yes, there are those professions that are rude, but I think we can go one step further in making it an even better interaction by starting off by saying, hello, how are you? Just greeting. How many people just don't greet? Even in supermarkets, I say, where's this? Where's that? Hello, how are you? Where's that?
011-883-0702. We'll find out your rudest profession.
Hi, Bongani. I think the rudest people you can call or you can speak to are call center agents. 5 minutes and you have a long query. They can be rude when they're about to knock off and you try calling in.
EWN Traffic.
Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. I'm not rude. Zani. In the traffic, there's an accident on the N1 North before the Malibongwe exit. Also traveling in Kailami, traffic lights out at R55 and Arthur. A bit of pressure on the M1 North into the Crown interchange. And also, if you're traveling in the city of Pretoria, those traffic lights at Sophie de Bruin and Struben aren't working. Aki Anastasiou, EWN Traffic.
You may not be musically gifted like the winner of Idol's South Africa Season 14, but you can still feel like a winner. So SMS out to 38350, or you can call 08600 60,000. And if OutSurance can't beat your current car insurance premium, they'll give you 400 Rand or 800 Rand if you haven't had a car claim in 3 years. That's out to 38350 or 08600 60,000. Save and get cold hard cash to be a winner as well. OutSurance is a licensed FSP. T's and C's and standard rates apply.
I am just so stressed. My bills are never ending. My children keep shouting for more and more. I have work tomorrow and I'm presenting to my boss. I just can't do this. What if I oversleep because I'm so tired and stressed? What if I forget my presentation? What if I was calm? Thanks, Stress Away. Stressful day? Take a Stress Away. Stress Away from Tib is made with a range of carefully selected herbs to help you combat and manage symptoms of stress